will be recorded. There we go. As Zoom let everybody know, this will be recorded. It is not going to be shared widely. It is just for myself and Yaba. We may use clips from our own conversation, but your part won't be seen. Nobody will see your names or anything like that, or your comments. So just to let you all know, we are going to get started in literally 1 minute, because we only have an hour together. Hello, Nicole. Lovely to see you. Hello, hello, hello.
Lovely to see you.
Brilliant. Hi. Hi. And Sharon Maziki. Oh, this is fantastic. Lovely to see you all. See, like, you guys don't even know. You all need to be talking to each other, because you're all these amazing, fabulous women. So we'll talk about Sessa Sisters later, but make sure you all introduce yourselves, start saying hi in the box and what you're doing, because it's phenomenalness I'm seeing popping into my participant list. I'm very excited. Fantastic. Okay, can I please ask everybody not to use their videos at this time? Thank you. We're trying to keep it with the speakers just for the recording. I don't want anybody like not wanting their faces all over the place and so on. So thank you. All right, then we're going to begin. I'm very excited. This is my first event under my new manifestation of Sessa. And so you are all so very, 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 very welcome. I'm Elvina, for those who don't know me, Elvina Quayson, and I'm the founder of Sessa, which is and I can show you right now. It is an online community organization focused on women, actually, women over the age of 35. I just was seeing that there was a lot of apps and information and resources out there for women to do with entrepreneurship or business and so on. But I didn't see as much stuff about some of our other needs and requirements, like health-related issues, which is why I wanted to start with health, or with our finances, but personal finances, or building relationships with new friends, because our interests might change and career changes and transitions from career woman to mother and then entrepreneur. And where's the community for that? Where's the support and the connections for that? So I wanted to create a space that would do that. And so I created Sessa Sisters. Well, Sessa, which is the organization, but we have a community that is growing on Facebook, and it is called Sessa Sisters. And it's just so great. It started last week, and we're at 35 members already. The wonderful Esther, who you will see talking away in the chat box, will share sporadically through our hour together the link if you would like to join the Facebook group. And it's a place where we'll be sharing information, connecting, keeping recordings. As usual, there's always something, and my something for this event was the computer is trying to link with a different Facebook page. So I haven't been able to put this recording at the moment in the group, but the recording of this will be only in the group, so only accessible to members in the group. And yeah, so that's what that space is there for. And yeah, that brings me, so I'm going to stop sharing. I am speaking a bit quickly because I know that an hour just zooms by in 15 minutes and we still have the fabulous consultation to take place. So we're gonna keep it moving. Now I'm wearing white and Yaba is wearing white because we are in July, which is Fibroids Awareness Month. And so we wanted to recognize and honor that, because I know that's one of the health issues, which is a key concern for women in the Black community and Asian as well. But my focus is the Black community. So we wanted to wear white for that. And we will be doing an event like this in 2 weeks, looking at me and my body and fibroids. And we will be joined by a wonderful lady called Cami, who is going to share her journey with traditional medicine, with alternative medicines, with supplements, with food, and just really talk through what some of the things that have helped and some of the things that have hindered in her journey with fibroids. But today, we are talking about health and fitness, and we are joined by the wonderful Yaba Apple, Team Apple. And yeah, Yaba, please tell us about yourself and about your organization.
Okay, so my name's Yaba Apple, and I have been in fitness for about 17 years now. And my husband and I developed our own business called Apple Health and Fitness, which is basically a platform for health education, making health more accessible and also realistic for day-to-day life for people. So we're actually our business is based in the UK, but we've just recently moved back to Ghana, where we're originally from. I have 2 young children. So when you were talking about transitioning in life with all the phases, I can relate with that side of things. I've got 2 little kids as well. So maintaining a healthy balance and also keeping myself at the top of the importance ladder has been a real challenge. So I'm really interested in speaking to other women, especially women within our Black community as well, about keeping ourselves at the top of that importance ladder.
Fantastic. At some point, I will tell you all about the new addiction I have to a writer called, oh my goodness, my addiction. Oh, this always happens. I think it's Rachel Rodgers. I'm pretty sure it's Rachel Rodgers. And she talks a lot about how women put so much above their own interests and concerns, even in ways that we don't really recognize and think about because it's so inherent in us, that you're putting your own health, your own ambitions, your own dreams, your own well-being on the back burner. And we do not want that, do we, Yaba?
No, not anymore.
Correct. So, ladies, please start putting any comments and questions in the chat area. And we are going to begin with my consultation, I believe. So
Yes.
I'm just trying to give you, here we go. So this is Yaba's, this is the gym that Yaba's company works with in the UK, and you can see her smiling face there. And so
All
over
right.
to you. I'm in your hands.
Fantastic. You're in safe hands. You're in safe hands. And guys, please bring loads of questions, whether they're tiny questions or huge questions. If I do not know the answer, I will find out and I will get back to you about anything that you've asked. Okay. So a consultation is something we put anybody and everybody through who wants to start on the health journey. You can't move forward with anything if you don't know where you are right now. So what we do is we do the consultation to basically find out where you are physically, where you are emotionally with yourself. When I say emotionally, I mean your relationship with exercise, with food, with well-being, all of that as a whole. And we look at where exactly you want to go. So one of the things I do is I help people to streamline, right? This is what I want for myself, and not what the world wants me to be like, but what I want myself to be like. So we also, at this point, we'll find out, Elvina, where you're starting from. Okay. So with the consultation, I know you said you're going to be very open about it. So we're going to start with the medical side. I can't prescribe anything without knowing, your medical background. So talking about anything, so I can list, or what I'm going to do, rather than list what I would normally do to keep it shorter, is there anything medically that I need to know about regarding your bone health?
No.
Your blood health?
No.
Your heart and your lungs?
All good.
All good. Okay. Is there anything else I've not asked that you want to mention that may affect you being physically active?
No, I'm healthy.
Okay. Have you got any allergies?
No allergies. I have intolerances.
Okay. What are your intolerances?
Oh God, what aren't my intolerances? Okay, so I am intolerant to gluten and lactose.
Yeah.
Sugar isn't exactly my friend.
Okay.
And I have a little bit of, I need iron, otherwise I drop off. So I haven't I haven't been diagnosed with low iron, but I feel it in myself when I haven't got enough of it.
Okay.
And I know I shouldn't be eating these things. However, I have a deep burning relationship with cake and biscuits and all things dairy and gluten like.
Okay, great. So it's good to know that you're already aware of the things that you're intolerant. And for a lot of you out there as well, if you're not sure, it's worth doing a test to find out, because those things will affect your sleep, they'll affect your skin, your general feeling of well-being if you feel tired and sluggish. So it's great that you already know about those things. So we've looked at the medical side. So there's nothing else that you need to tell me. Diabetes, nothing like that. How about a family history? Do you have a family history of heart disease?
No, not to my knowledge. No, we don't have. No, not diabetes, not anything. Yes, my sisters, I know you're in the room, so if you know something I don't know, please pop it in the group.
Yes, well worth knowing. It's time to delve. It's time to delve.
Sorry, Nicole, I have just seen what you've said, and I actually have done the back work, and I know what my relationship to cake is. It was comfort when I was 5 years old going to reception. Can you believe it? And that became my comfort thing. So cake is like safety, I guess, to me.
Okay, so you recognize that already. So anything that has been done can be undone. This is the one thing I love about the human body, is that you can undo pretty much everything that it's been trained to do. So we will get back to the cake. Okay, we'll talk about that as well. So now that we know medical side done, if there's anything you think of, obviously we can talk about it again. And next, what we look at is your physical state. So physically where you're at. Normally we do a physical test, as in press ups or something more, more suitable to the individual. Today we're going to do technically 2 tests. One will be, we mentioned a dress that would be our accountability dress. And the second is going to be a waist measurement. So we check your waist measurement to see if you are at risk of metabolic disease. And yes, that's brilliant. So with women, if your waist circumference, is more than 35 inches, then you are at risk of metabolic disease, which is combined with things like getting stroke, again, combined with family history as well, stroke, diabetes, heart disease, and leading on to obesity as well. So we look at that for health specifically, not what you want to look like, but actually how you are in your health status. So if you take the measuring tape, I'm going to stand up just to demonstrate to others who might want to do it for themselves. And if you imagine where your belly button is, it should be near about where the smallest part of you is. So that's the area around. I love it. Someone said they've come with their own measuring tapes.
Yes.
So the area around, and be honest with yourself. What we normally do when we show our stomachs or touch our stomachs, we breathe in. We're like, but let it go, relax, take a nice deep breath, relax, and then take that measurement around your waist.
Okay, so I'm doing 2 things at the same time. This is going to be my accountability thing, and I'm showing
Bikini,
you
yes,
and everything
fantastic.
right now.
Good.
So it's my Marilyn Monroe swimming costume, which I don't know how well you can see it, but we want some of this to leave us. I was saying, oh no, I'm only doing this for fitness, and then I saw myself in my swimming costume and thought, okay, maybe a bit more. Okay, look, I'm not like, oh no, I was about to say, look guys, I am under 35, but I'm not. The tape measure is still going. All right, okay. I am 37
inches. Yeah. So I'm taking one of the goals. What we do is we identify goals for health as well as your own personal goals. So one of the ones that we're going to put on the list together is to get you under 35 inches. Okay.
Yes.
So a lot of health benefits come with that, as well as having less blood in your sugar, less fat around your body as well. So that is one of our goals. We're going to aim for 34 inches. So with goal setting, be very specific, guys. Try not to tell yourselves, oh, I want to, generally lose weight or generally feel better. Be very specific, make it measurable so that this time next month, you can see that there's been progress. And with progress comes more motivation. So I like to start with maybe one specific goal, one very measurable goal, and we start with that. So that is ours. So next, I'm going to talk to you about what you want for yourself. Okay, yes, that is smart. That is exactly smart. Okay, it's specific, measurable, attainable. So absolutely smart goal setting. So Alvina, what do you want for yourself and for your physical well-being?
Okay, so I want to wear some Mary J. Blige boots and little shorts for my birthday in December. And I want to look like I should be wearing them. I want to increase my fitness. And by that, I'm using to measure, at the moment, I can run a mile on the treadmill in about 15 minutes. And I read somewhere that if you can run a mile in 10 minutes, then you're at good health. And if you can do it in 9 minutes, then you're really fit. So I would really love to get to the point where I could run a mile in 9 minutes on the treadmill and then get to the point where I can run it on the streets.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put my top back on because I think everybody's seen enough of the Marilyns right now.
Whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you're comfortable. And with a goal like that as well, it's also aiming to attain it, I would say, comfortably. So wanting to run that and have a quick recovery. So that's something you should look at as well. When you do your 15-minute run, try and measure your heart rate, whether you use a watch, a treadmill to hold on to, or check your pulse, and see how quickly your heart rate goes from wherever it is back to about 100. And you can see how quickly you recover as you get fitter as well.
Well, for motivation, I have just been told that I must come to Jamaica. That's where Maziki is from, so I can wear my outfit with meaning.
Amazing, amazing, purposeful. Yeah. Perfect. So we've got actually quite really specific goals. So that was by December. So a time frame is perfect. So what does that look like for you? So you've got your shorts, and when you wear your outfit now and you look in the mirror, what do you see and what do you want to see differently in December? Okay, so I've just come back from Ghana. And while I was in Ghana, I did the whole 30 eating regime. And at the end of 30 days, I just was really, really loved the outcome. There was more work to go, but as soon as the 30 days were over, I was like, oh, okay, I'll just treat myself a little bit because now I can eat what I want. And then shortly after that, I came back to the UK where the choice of nonsense was even bigger. And so I've gone completely back to where I pretty much was at the beginning. So I would like to get to a point where it becomes, routine. It's my I eat well generally, I exercise, it's my lifestyle. So that's where I'd like to get to mentally and physically. So let me ask you actually, how important is our mindset when we're looking at making these lifestyle changes? Because like cake, for me, I'm sure everybody's got their comfort thing or their routine thing that has a meaning. Either it's family pizza or something, or fufu Sunday or what have you. What do we need to be doing mentally to shift some of these eating habits, if you like? Yeah.
And lifestyle stuff generally, actually, it's not even just food. It's exercise or movement even. Yeah.
Mentality is everything. It's number one. I've had clients over the years that come to me for a quick fix, or just tell me what to do. Yeah, but I'll do it, and it should help it, and it won't, because everyone's mentality will dictate how far they go and how they will continue. The thing you have to ask yourself is, what do you want for yourself? What lights you up in life and what makes you feel down in life, and start from there. Because very often we'll find that it's, I'm tired a lot and that makes me feel down, or I really enjoy moving around or spending time with this person, that person. Start with what lights you up in life and what do you want for yourself in life. Because once you understand that you can change yourself, you can literally physically change your state that your body is in, you can then stop and say, I don't have to live with this anymore. So the mentality side is big. And on that journey, we often then start looking at, where did that attitude come from? Where did that belief about myself come from? So I've had many clients who've been told they were ugly, they were fat, they've been bullied. One client I had a couple of weeks ago, we sourced her point of being so hard on herself because she was really bullied as a child about her weight, and now she bullies herself, almost like she filled that gap when she left school. And once she realized it was that, she was able to move on from there and make some better choices and decisions, but it had to start from here. So it is everything. I'm only the educator. I can't change somebody's life, but I can help someone at least identify what brought you here in the first place? Why is your body in this condition right now? And it started from something up here.
I think that's so true. And using myself again as an example, once I got to the point where I looked the way I wanted to look in shorts and things like that, it felt really good, but it felt uncomfortable. And I can, as I'm watching myself, I can see myself moving from being the slim person, because that's not how I see myself. I've always been told you're big, you're chubby, you're X, Y, and Z. So that's the person that's in my head. And when I'm not that person, it almost feels a bit uncomfortable.
Yes.
And then it's like I'm trying to get back there. So that lovely self-sabotage comes running back in. But yeah, let's carry on.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's great. So we've got our goals. Now, before today, I asked you to keep a 3-day food diary and a 3-day physical activity diary. And she did it on our app. And the app is useful because I can see your diary as well, rather than you just doing it yourself. So with that food diary, it's literally recording every single thing that you consume over 3 days. And normally we like to see a weekend day, like a Saturday or a Sunday in that as well, because we generally eat differently at the weekends. So having looked at that and I analyzed it, I noticed that some days your calorie consumption was too high. That's the first place we normally start. So we look at, are you eating enough for what your body needs, or are you eating too much, or are you eating too little? And I'm talking very generally with calories to start with, and then we break it down a little bit more. So you were eating too much. So on one day, I think it was about 500 calories, too much, okay? In 1 pound of body fat, there's 3,500 calories. So when someone's looking at losing fat, I always like to say lose fat, not weight, okay? If you want to lose it, then you're looking at reducing either 500 calories 7 days a week, or 250 calories deficit. So you eat 250 less than you would normally, and then you exercise 250 more, and that equals our 500 every day for 7 days. That's 3,500 calories, and that's a pound of body fat loss. So that is the minimum. I always say to people, if you're looking to slim down or for health, which we've talked about with your waist circumference, lose body fat, then we start with calories. After that, I looked at what you were consuming. So one of the things, or some of the things that were outstanding was, it was quite irregular. Your pattern was quite irregular. So I wasn't sure if those particular days you were busy in the morning, you barely ate, or you ate something random. And there were quite a few biscuits in there as well, which was great to see you put that in, because it made it very obvious. So the bourbon biscuits, I think we had 6 in one of the afternoons, was one of the things I pulled out and thought, right, maybe sugar consumption is one of the things that we're going to look at and target to help you to feel better, but also to get that waist circumference down as well.
So again, just as little bits for others to think about that I noticed. So when I eat the gluten and the lactose, I get bloated. So that makes me feel bigger. And then as soon as I stop for a week, it goes down. So that little moment of self-annoyance and what have you is unnecessary. And my moods, my goodness, my moods were all over the place. Dairy definitely messes with my moods, irritability, tiredness, frustration, short-temperedness, sensitivity. Letitia, yes, she commented that we had a little moment over the weekends because I was a bit sensitive about my eating. So that's also something, definitely messes with your sleeping pattern. So if you notice any of those things, you might want to see if you've got any intolerances there. We have a question from Judith, who is asking, what would be your recommendation on stopping late eating, as it's a real struggle?
Yeah, so it's first finding out why you're eating late. So some people, it's because of their date, like if you're working late, or if you're hungry later on, it means you've not given your body what it needs first thing in the day. Everyone, obviously, working patterns are different. So if your working day is a normal, should we say 9 to 5 or that kind of working shift, then there's no reason why you'd still be needing to eat after about 6 or 7 p.m. afterwards. So that person who asked that, it'd be good to know what your work pattern is. And with breaking that habit, first thing you need to do is make sure you satisfy your body with water and the right foods, the right nutrients, plenty of vegetables and healthy fats in the day, to make sure that by the evening you're not hungry. If hunger isn't the issue, but it's habit, then it's breaking habits, which means replacing it with something else. Clients I've had before have said that they've sat down, that's when they chill out, kids have gone to bed, or they're sitting down watching a movie, that's when the snacks come out. Then it's changing that. So instead of sitting down to watch a movie for a couple of weeks, change what you are doing. Brushing teeth really helps. So when you've had your last meal of the day, let's say 6 or 7 p.m., brush your teeth, mouthwash. It almost sends a signal to the body that I'm done. And eating after that is weird, and it breaks the pattern. So the body will still crave, but you've broken the habit by then. So hopefully those things will help. It's very dependent on why the person is eating at night, on if they're hungry.
Maybe also to help, thank you very much, Nicole. She's popped into the chat a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. So you've talked a lot about habits there. Maybe that's something. Yeah, it's habit from cooking dinner for family. Not hunger.
Yeah. So if your family eats late, then and you want to eat with your family, it might be worth you so for example, if you normally have breakfast at, I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, but you know your last meal is going to be at, again, I don't know, so I'm only assuming it's going to be at 9 p.m., then you want to start your eating day later on in the day and give yourself around a shorter, or rather a shifted day of eating. That way your metabolism can still burn without it constantly having to process food, constantly having food in the system. So that's a tip I give as well. If you do want to eat with your family, or you do find you eat late, you just eat later in the day.
Kind of like, is that like intermittent fasting? Where
it's a similar principle, but it's giving your body time to process what's in there. And we find that and that's actually unhealthy to have your body constantly having to process food. So if you are wanting to make healthier choices, or you do want to increase your metabolism, or reduce calories, or also lose some weight, then yeah, that absolutely helps to shift that into a later day. It's similar to intermittent fasting. Yeah.
Okay. I did weigh myself. I am 78
Thank
pounds.
you.
Is it? I usually work in stones, so I was 12 something stones and 78 something pounds.
So you're 12 stone.
12 something stones. So I think it's 12
stone something.
12.4 or something, but it was 78 pounds.
Okay.
Or kilos.
I think you mean kilos. I think you mean kilos. As I'm writing this, I'm like, this doesn't sound right.
Sure. In my alternate universe, I'm 78
Don't
pounds.
worry.
Kilos, yes.
Don't worry. So kilos.
Okay, don't judge me, people. Metric and all of that, just bypass.
No judgment here. So we've got your measurements, and we've got your eating, a general idea of what you eat. So what was your physical activity diary? So I noticed there was a treadmill. That's okay, we can talk about it today. So from when you wake up to when you go to sleep, give me an idea of a general day of what your day looks like. For example, I wake up and then I go to the gym, or I wake up, I get this ready, please.
So we'll do good day, and then we'll do other day. So on a good day, I wake up, I'll go to the gym, and I will work out for about 30 to 45 minutes. That generally at the moment looks like jumping on the treadmill and power walking, and now I've started to do running again. I haven't moved into using the weights or any of the other machines. I'm just kind of putting myself back in, or I'll go for a power walk around for an hour in the morning, and then begin the day. That's a good day. And then on the other day, I stay in bed and then get up and go to work. So yeah, and then that's all the exercise. I only exercise in the mornings. I don't do evening classes or anything like that.
Okay, how many days a week are you physically active for at least 30 minutes?
For at least 30 minutes, if you include walking, like
yes.
Oh, then every day. Like I like walking for like my mental state. So I walk every day for at least 30 minutes. And then the exercises on top of that. Yeah.
Very good. And when you walk, are you talking like this, or are you walking to the point where you can talk normally?
I could talk normally. I'm not power walking or anything.
Yeah. Okay, so that walking is beneficial, but I wouldn't class that as extra physical activity that challenges your heart and your lungs. So let's take that walking aside. How often are you physically active?
Okay, at the moment then I would say maybe 2 times a week consistently for the last 3 weeks. Yeah. I dropped off since I left Ghana.
Yeah, no problem. Whatever it is because you can turn it around from now, so that's great. So 2 times a week. So you're looking at a minimum of 5 days a week, ideally doing something every day. So that's why it's really important to find something that you enjoy, whether it's swimming, whether it's power walking. You can start with walking. Walking is one of the biggest things that can give you health. In fact, simply just standing can give you health. One of the biggest causes of metabolic issues now is that we are inactive. We sit down, we lay down, we barely move. So the fact that you walk every day is a huge benefit to your health already. So all you've got to change there is to walk faster to increase the intensity, or put on a backpack and walk, or put ankle weights on, increase the intensity so that your heart and your lungs have to work harder until that becomes easier. Always start with something that you might already be doing and then up it from there.
I like the idea of ankle weights. And Yasmin, yes, I was doing these 10-minute yoga challenges, which I really liked. So for 30 days in the morning, you would do 10 minutes yoga, and it was really good.
That's really good. And 10-minute bursts of activity are beneficial to health as well. But the main thing is what you do with the majority of your day. That's what will make the biggest difference to your health.
Somebody said I did their cardio class. Who's CEO?
On WhatsApp.
Yeah. I did 2. I did Natalie's. I did that a couple of times, nearly died. She's very good. I'm just rubbish. And then I can't remember who else's one I did. Christina. Oh my goodness, another one. These ladies trying to kill me. No, that girl likes the burpees too much. I couldn't cope. She's very good. I was a ball of sweat, but it was too much.
So it's finding what you like. It's good to try new things as well. Always try a burpee. Like, you never know, you might love it.
Yeah.
So I'm a big encourager of start with what you enjoy and then try something new. There are a billion things out there to try, and you never know. So have that mentality of being willing to at least try it. Okay, so physical activity, we know what areas to work on there as well. So the first goal we're going to look at is increasing the intensity of your walking. Okay, and at least half an hour every day. Now the gym, it's really good that you're doing 2 days, at least if you can get 2 days in the gym. If you why are you only doing 2 days? What are your barriers to going more?
It's just been, again, going back to mindset, it's just been my mind since I've got back from Ghana. I've kind of fallen off my whole program. I used to go to the gym at least 3 times a week and do like intensive walking in the morning if I wasn't like keeping that up. But I don't know, it's since I got back, I've fallen off a bit. So there's no reason, and I'm happy to get back into it again.
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, I will be looking at people to keep me accountable. Hi to those who've already joined the Sessa Sisters group. I will be putting little updates in there, and you can ask me what I've been up to and keep me accountable. And so in 30 days, we'll see where I am. Yes, there we go.
Amazing. And you'll do well. You'll do well having accountability. It really helps.
Yes.
So when you do go to the gym, I remember you mentioned about you sticking to cardio at the moment, and you haven't touched on resistance yet. One thing I would encourage, and I do encourage my clients, I work mostly with beginners. So please don't imagine that I've got bodybuilders and, you know, gymnasts that I'm working with. I work with beginners mostly, and I love watching them transform into just exercise lovers. But I always say start with resistance, especially a woman. We need resistance training. It will increase your metabolism. Naturally, it will increase your strength, but also it helps to balance out those hormones, and it draws the excess blood sugars out of your blood as well. That's one of the things the muscles do. So when you work your major muscles, it will draw the extra sugar out of your blood. It needs it for the energy. So start with resistance training. Start with your body weight, and then start with light weights, and then build those weights up. and don't be afraid of challenging weights, okay? Because our hormones are not like the men, we haven't got as much of testosterone. So when we lift heavy, we get hard, okay? We don't get big. The women you see that get big and have, no neck and the veins popping out, the big women, they have to use hormone supplements to achieve that for competition, okay? Or if they want to look that way. So I really encourage you to lift challenging weights. Also, bone density becomes an issue when we reach past 30. So we start to have more brittle bones, and obviously that leads into later life. So one of the things we can do to help ourselves is to do resistance training. That doesn't necessarily mean heavy weightlifting in the gym, but it does mean lifting yourself, squats, press ups, pull ups, also encouraging lifting in your day-to-day life as well. So always start with what is realistic and what your body can handle, and then go from there. So now we've talked about there's no medical background, your back is safe. I would say start doing resistance training at the gym from now. And if you do a minimum of 2 days in the week, you will see benefit from that.
And so my thing is, when I get to the gym and I look at those machines, I just don't know what I'm doing with them. Okay. I have worked with personal trainers in the past, and it has been good, but I haven't done it to the point where I built up my own comfort with them. So as soon as I stop working with them, I stop working with the machines.
Yeah.
So how do you get comfortable? I guess we're going to be doing that when we do the fitness element of the program.
Yeah,
so
I will set you a routine, which is part of the next phase of what we do. So now that I've identified the bits that where you're lacking to achieve ultimate health for yourself, as well as ticking off the goals that you want to achieve, we look at what we're going to do, which is prescription. Like what do I do next, basically? How do I achieve these goals? So nutrition wise, I'm going to support you by first talking through some of those areas that cause you to eat more, the cake, the comfort, also the habits, your daily eating habits, your daily drinking habits, hydration, nutrition, and then we'll look at your physical activity. But mostly nutrition normally takes a whole consultation on its own, because that's such a deep topic, and it's not just about I'm hungry, I eat. It's very much about my relationship with food. So just for the case of today, we'll look at a basic prescription, and then we'll obviously talk much more in depth. And then the next phase of that is giving you a nutrition plan. And it's not just me saying this is what you need to eat. It's you and I working together to say this would be how you would need to eat to really improve these areas that you are lacking, that you said yourself that you feel lacking in.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay, brilliant. So next we're going to look at the time frame. We're going to set a time frame to make it realistic for this goal. So in your mind, we'll start with what you want to achieve for yourself. You've already spoken about December, and you can actually transform your body into something completely different in 12 weeks. Okay, so 3 months, you can completely change your body. What's involved is consistency, okay, and a mindset change. And also knowing, guys, that it doesn't start here and then you go, oh, I've succeeded in 3. It literally looks like this. There'll be times when you fall off, when you did it, but ultimately you'll end up there. Okay, and it's the bit in between where we've got to be so careful to keep loving yourself and then loving the body you're in, loving the stage you're at, until you reach the point where you are at maintenance, which we call heaven. It's like you're maintaining the energy that you like, you're maintaining the good sleep that you enjoy, you're maintaining the foods that make you feel good and you enjoy eating them, and of course maintaining the body that you've built at that phase as well.
Definitely.
Okay, so December is our goal, but what I'll do is put a halfway point there, which is 3 months time. Okay, so we're July, October, so end of October.
Okay.
Any questions?
Oh, no, but I do have a poll for you wonderful people, and I'm going to launch it now for 1 minute. If you could just quickly now press which ones even relate to you. What role does food have in your life? Strictly nutrition. There's some people out there who just eat to keep themselves going. Stress relief, celebration, comfort, or other. And if it's other, please put what the other is, if you're comfortable, in the chat area. We have had 2 people out of 20. Come on, guys, you just need a 3. Just need to press the button. Just press the button. Press the button, everybody. This is supposed to be
button. Mine are like all of them. I think.
I know.
Could I press?
Right.
Could I press all of them?
Yeah.
And I think somebody asked just now about myself, as in what I do. Am I happy to share that? And this is a very interesting question, I find, because I'm very real about these kind of things. I'm at the stage of my life where it's probably the most stressful time in my life. And I recognize in myself that exercise is the biggest stress release that I have. But mentally, that is not what took lead. It was food. It was the food side to give me stress relief. And like Alvina said, I've just moved to Ghana and I've currently taken the lead before my husband. I've moved by myself with the children, and my children wake up and they wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's also appreciating that at certain times in our life, different things will change how you exercise, how you eat, but it's maintaining a certain level. So what I do, I'm trying to incorporate Pilates, which is easier to do in terms of time frame. I can just get started with Pilates, and I'm trying to incorporate physical activity into general day rather than organized set workouts. So if you're finding you're in a time in your life where you're really busy, you're not finding time, try and be more active in your day. So I barely sit down. And you mentioned earlier as well about walking. I wanted to say this about standing up. So being inactive is one of the biggest causes. Us Black women, we're one of the most at risk of heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. And cancer, no, but the type of cancer that we do get, we get it more severe. So when we talk about things like heart disease, diabetes, and stroke, it's actually very, very preventable if you simply move more. So a lot of us have blocks by thinking we have to join a gym or join a running club or do burpees all day, when actually our issue is that we simply sit down for too long. So if you find that that's you in your day and you're just barely standing, every hour, stand up. When you're reading a book, when you're at work on your computer, when you're watching TV, try and stand up every hour or half an hour and move, stretch, walk on the phone. Try and do that to start with. And you will notice from there that your energy levels will start to pick up. And that's a good motivation to become more physically active from there.
When I was in Denmark and went to visit some colleagues, I noticed that they have a lot of standing desks.
Yeah.
So they're on like a kind of, I don't know what you call it, a windy thing. And so you can prick it up or down.
Okay.
And a lot of them had it quite high up, and that was quite strange, but I could definitely understand the benefit of it. Massive. And probably helps you work a little differently as well.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. There's a lot of evidence behind it now. So yes.
Thank you all. So comfort eating, no surprise, was number 1. You're with me, ladies. And strictly nutrition, how? That was the least. Like, I don't know. But anyway, we all have a different relationship with food. I can't even imagine, like, those who know me, if you asked anybody, tell me one thing about Alvina, the first thing they would probably say is food. Like, I know it myself, I can't lie. So
yeah. Someone just asked, how can you love your body at the stage you're at but still want to change it? So self-love, or loving the physical body, we can all identify the areas that we're not happy with or that we know are simply unhealthy. Even I have areas in my body that I know I need to do better with that. I need to drink more water, etc. There are areas you can identify, as well as loving yourself in that state that you're in. So when I say state, I mean your being. You're loving your being, loving yourself. So we all have a work or some kind of work to do to improve our health, but make sure at every stage you love yourself. Otherwise, what tends to happen, we start to the self-talk starts to be a little bit low. We start to say, why did you eat that? Oh, I can't believe you didn't go to the gym today. Oh, it's like, be kind to yourself. You wouldn't talk to your closest friend, or you're someone who's close to you. You wouldn't encourage them like that. So encourage yourself as you would someone that you love. Love yourself in that journey. as you're changing your body at every stage. I hope that made sense. Yes, be kind to yourself.
I'm just trying to find something that I use a lot. It was referred to me by a friend. I found it. So let me see if I can just quickly share my screen. So there's this amazing app called Insight Timer. I don't know if many of you are familiar with it. And I was introduced to this lady, and I was doing this literally, I've been doing it every day for like the last, I don't even know how long. It's about 4 minutes. So I do it as I brush my teeth. And you literally are just there in the mirror, and it's uncomfortable at first if you're not used to it. You're looking at yourself and telling yourself how much you love yourself and how grateful you are to yourself.
Yeah.
And her voice is beautiful. Let me see if I can just play a little bit. I don't know if you can.
Hello, my name is Randy May. Today I'm going to invite you to do some mirror work with me, taking a moment just to look at your own self, connect with your own body, connect with your own light.
Come on, who doesn't want to listen to that voice? Did you all hear it? Did you hear it, Yeba?
I heard it. Yeah, I do it with my kids.
A bit funny. Sorry.
I do it with my kids.
Oh, fantastic.
The positive affirmations is very important because it starts with us. We've, things that we've been told, we have to now undo. So I'm not ugly. You have to tell yourself I'm beautiful. So I'm trying to just say, you know what? Let me just get it in my kids now while they're 2 years old.
Yes, agreed.
I wrote that down. Thank you for the app, Insight Timer.
Yeah, no, it's really good. A friend introduced me to it, and there's quite a few great things on there. So we've got 15 minutes left together. So people, do we have any questions? And yeah, but let's keep going. We're about to go into my I think nutrition.
Yes, so we're going to go into nutrition finally. The exercise, we've talked about what you can do now to improve. So nutrition wise, how much water do you drink every day?
Oh God, my water intake is absolutely terrible. It's absolutely awful. And what started to happen, I've noticed, is that I actually start to go a little bit foggy, like my brain literally starts to shut down. And it happens, it's really weird, and everything gets very confusing. And I'll be like, what's going on? And I'll get very agitated. And then I'll suddenly remember you haven't drunk any water. Okay. And then I'll drink water. And it's like when you water a flower and you see it going, whoop, it literally, I just feel my whole body like, oh, finally, thanks. So my water intake is a key problem because I like tea so much. And I've been recently told that it's a diuretic, and I assume that means that it sucks all the
moisture out.
Yes. So I need to be looking at that. So my water intake is.
Yeah. So by the time you reach fogginess and your lips are dry, and everyone I'm sure has experienced that, it's too late, we're dehydrated. So prevention is the key. So definitely imagine yourself in 5 years, you want to be a well-hydrated version of yourself who doesn't experience fogginess again. That means incorporating that water routine. So what I normally say is try and have 1 or 2 glasses before every meal. Literally, you'll be there like, I don't want to drink this, and it's gone. Okay, that kind of guzzle. Guzzling counts. You can actually guzzle, like just drink water and get it in your body. That counts. It also stops us overeating because very often the body just wants water and not food, but it recognizes it as hunger. So drink 1 to 2 glasses before every meal. And that's a great habit to build. And the great thing about the body is it starts to expect that. So after about 2 or 3 weeks, your body starts to expect, where's that water before my meal? So you're changing your physical habits.
Okay. We have a question from thank you. And it's a really great one, actually. Are there any particular thoughts on what to expect of our bodies after 40 and how to respond? Just quickly, when I was in Ghana, I saw the physio. I was telling Yaba about it earlier. And he'd said that our water intake is so important because we don't drink enough water. And apparently the discs around our spine, they dry out.
Yeah.
By the time we get 40 plus, 50 and so on, it's become irreparable damage, and we've got all the back issues.
Yeah, so very interesting.
That was an eye-opener for me because I hadn't thought that deeply about water. But yes.
And the fluid around our joints are called synovial fluid. And if we lose moisture in those areas, you'll start to be like crack, and then pain begins. Yeah, so definitely it's part of that too. So changes that happen after we're 40, actually, the changes start from 30. So in fact, once you hit out of your 20s, that's it. No, I'm joking. So what happens? So hormonal changes. Yay for hormones. So with women, our hormones start to shift. We get hormones more like men, which is why we then start to carry our body fat. Instead of the hips, it starts to carry in the middle. So women, we normally have the pear shape, but we then become apple shaped like men. And that's simply hormones. We can't do anything about that. However, if you start whatever age you're at now, being more active and increasing your metabolism and watching your sugar intake as well, your total calorie intake, it will reduce your total fat in your body, and which includes around your waist. Our metabolism also slows down. And that's something that we all go through. One way you can maintain your metabolism, and I've watched this because I've trained women, but I mostly train women in the gym who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and also some in their 70s. They've maintained fantastic physiques by lifting resistance. Resistance training will increase your metabolism. It'll also strengthen your bones and, of course, give you strength in general as well. So yeah, the hormone shift is one of the biggest things that we find changes once we hit into the 40s.
Brilliant. Thank you. And there are, I'm sure, questions around blood pressure and low blood pressure, high blood pressure, and diabetes, and all the other things. And one of the things I'm planning to do is bring on a medical expert to answer some of these kind of questions for us and talk to us about how we can maintain and look after ourselves. Okay, yes, Yaba, over to you. You've got about 4 minutes, 4 minutes left.
No problem. So I've already identified most of what I need to help you with, which we've talked about. The amount of calories you eat, it was too much. So your body was it's been given too much for what your body needs. All it can do with the extra is store it as body fat. Okay, we've talked about sugar consumption. It already makes you feel bad, and gluten. So we've got a great motivation why we're going to replace those foods with different foods as well. We've talked about iron. So one of the things we're going to replace your gluten-heavy meals with is green leafy vegetables, green food in general. Okay, the color of a food actually does make a difference in nutrients it holds, but in your case, because of the iron, we want to go for green. We then looked at some of the evenings, again, were a bit sporadic. Do you find that you don't always eat regularly in the evening?
To be fair, when I was filling out the app, I did it when I remembered, as in do it when I ate.
Yeah.
But again, for the last couple of weeks, usually I sort of do intermittent fasting 10 till 6.
Yeah.
But I have come out of that habit, and so eating has drifted into the 7, snacking around 8, 9, 10. So yes, it's become a regular.
Right. So then I would encourage, in fact, what we will do as part of that is go back to your intermittent fasting. It's a great way to get all the calories you need, but also the healthier foods within a time frame to stop your bad habits of evening snacking where you don't have to. Okay, so actually quite a lot of things that we can start with. I don't like to make too many changes because it doesn't encourage consistency. So we're going to start with those main ones: the amount you're eating, reducing your gluten-heavy meals so you feel better. Okay, and then introducing your time frame for intermittent fasting as well.
Okay, great.
Of course, with your water and hydration, I'm going to increase that as well for the 2 glasses with every meal.
That's generally the amount I drink in a day. But okay, yeah, let's do that.
Perfect, good. So you'll see big changes from there. But I mean, it'd be really good if you can keep a diary of how you're feeling as you're going, a very honest diary, because that journey that you're going to go up and down till the finish line, it'll be great for others to see the challenges that can happen in the middle and how I can support you with that as well.
Okay. So I'll probably do that as a combination of little videos and actually journaling or blogging.
Yeah.
We shall see. Guys, this is your time. We have about 5 minutes left. And then those who wish to can run back off and watch the football. If you're not watching it already, don't say the score. Yeah, I know, right? Do we have any input, even comments or suggestions?
Yeah.
I think we've got a yoga teacher in here. We've got a mindfulness follower. I know some people have been doing some really interesting health programs of their own. I'm not going to call anybody out, but definitely, what are some of the ways that have helped you stay motivated and focused? Instagram's great for seeing what people are doing to help themselves to achieve their health goals.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you've got anything that you're wondering about, even, this is the time to ask Yaba. So Yaba, you are based in Ghana, but you also have operations in the UK.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about if anybody wants to now connect with you directly. So maybe they might have questions that they don't particularly want to put in a public chat box. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, but the easiest, most direct way is either Instagram, or you can get hold of me on my email, yaba@teamapple.com. And I am so happy to answer any questions that you may have, or to help start you off as well. But that is the easiest way to get hold of me. I think my Instagram, I don't know how to type it on here, can I? But you can find me at yaba_self_love.
Okay, we've got 2 questions in the box. So the first question is it possible to target body areas for weight loss, like the abs, glutes? So
I love that question. I really genuinely do. And the answer is yes and no. Okay, so yes, if you do HIIT training, high intensity interval training, it has been proven, and I mean, it has to be high intensity interval training, not middle. You have to really work at that level. It has been proven to reduce body fat in the abdominals and intra-abdominals as well. So that has been proven to do so. Generally, when you lose body fat, your body loses it where it wants to lose it first. So some women find it in their face, some women find the arms go down first, whatever it is. We cannot tell the body where to lose it from. It will just all happen together. It'll happen as it wants to. So you can't choose where to lose the fat, but doing high intensity interval training does target abdominal fat.
Okay, and then another question was, is it possible? No, we've done that one. Do you have any specific exercise or nutrition suggestions for perimenopause? And we're definitely going to do a whole session on menopause, all the elements around it. So yeah,
I think that one will be more specific to a dietitian to answer that. And I say that because every woman who hits menopause hits it very, very differently. Every woman who is going through it, or before, or just before, it depends on how your mum went through it as well. So that's a question I would normally say, give it to a dietitian when it comes to how to eat for menopause.
Thank you. And then we have a question directly about you. How did you get into fitness?
Okay, well, when I was younger, I was actually labeled the sporty one. And that was a label that was put on me, and I went and ran with it. So because I was very athletic and physically active as a child, naturally I was curious then about physical activity. And I studied it. I went to study at university. I worked in the gym, my first job. It was just everything in my life was to do with fitness. But then later on, I was really passionate about health education and letting the masses know about how they can actually improve their health as well. So I started it from very, very young because I was labeled as the fitness one. But as I grew, I really had an actual interest in how physical activity can improve your well-being.
Brilliant. Perfect. So we are literally down to the wire. Let me see. What do you do when you reach a plateau?
Great question.
How do you
yeah.
manage feelings that come from when you hit that plateau? So let's grab that one really quickly.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. So when the feelings come that you've plateaued, it's again, like I said about the journey that you go through. Plateau is part of the journey. You have to accept that it is something you will go through and say, you know what, it's okay, I will go through it. Once you've hit plateaus, it either involves a mental shift. So having, again, doing that mental work of, let me try something different, let me approach it differently, but keep going. And then the physical change, that you may need to try something different. Your body is very adaptable. It'll adapt to whatever you put it through. So once it's adapted to one thing, it's well worth trying something else. So if you've been doing just running on a treadmill for years, then it's worth incorporating strength training. If you've just been doing strength training, try and do high intensity intervals, try doing CrossFit, try doing yoga, Pilates, really enjoy the journey as you're going through it as well. Try and say, you know what, that looks quite interesting. Why don't you try that, or incorporate tennis, something else, and the body it'll almost shock the system into having to change and adapt again. And those physical changes will get you out of plateau.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. And guys, thank you all so very much. Hopefully in the chat area, you will see a link for the newsletter, a link to join the Facebook group, and I will send a thank you email with all of that information inside. Yaba, you have been absolutely brilliant.
Thank you so much for letting me talk on your platform and for giving me this opportunity to meet everyone as well. That's been awesome.
Absolutely no problem. So guys, I will share with you Yaba's contact details as well when I send you that thank you email. Our next event is Sessa Sessions, Me and My Body, and we will be looking at fibroids for this one. And that will be from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. GMT +1, so that's UK time, which is an hour before Ghana. And I don't know how many hours we are, Jamaica, if you'd like to tell us what time it is with you right now. And please do stay connected, either through getting in touch with me directly on email or signing up to our newsletter. And the link for that is also in the chat box. 6 hours behind. Thank you so much for joining us in your morning or early afternoon. Timing is terrible. Thank you all. You are amazing. Yaba, so much gratitude.
Thank you.
Esther, you've been an absolute superstar in that chat area. Thank you so much. Everybody enjoy yourselves. Let's see if the Stars are doing something amazing and England actually manages to win. And have a lovely, lovely, lovely evening. Thank you so much. Okay. Everybody, if you need to drop off, please do. Just to answer you, Beverly, can I catch up with the recording? The recording will be in the Sessa Sisters Facebook group. So if you join the group, then you'll be able to access the full video. Otherwise, snippets will pop up on Instagram and YouTube and so on. Great, thank you. Thank you very, very much, madam.
Well done, Elvina.
Oh, thank you. Sarah Jane's popping up. It's true, you can unmute yourself.
Everyone can unmute now.
Everybody else, thank you. I'm going to stop the recording now.